Hello, how are you doing? How is everyone doing? After over a week without filming anything, here I am. And if you don't know me, I'm Jeanne and I'm a new girl on here. Today I want to talk to you about a problem that I have quite regularly, and I think a lot of people have. On booktube sometimes it feels like no one has this problem, but I do. And I think a lot of readers struggle with that, and is reading slump. I had a lot of reading slump. For example, last year I only read 18 books for the whole year. 18 books. For some people it is a lot, but 18 books is doesn't make me feel really good. And for years before that, because of uni, I was not reading really for pleasure. I was only reading for my degree, which was not always a fun time. So today I want to talk to you about books that got me out of a reading slump, got me back into reading, and made me want to pick up other books really quickly afterwards. And so I have 5 books here. I wanted 5 books that got me out of a reading slump. And I'm going to explain to you what they're about, why these books got me out of the reading slump, what makes them so special in that way. Everyone has different tastes, everyone is going to have different reactions to different books, so all of these books are not necessarily the cure for all the reading slumps for like everyone. But for me, they work really well, and I'm going to explain to you why. So the first book I want to talk about is a really recent one actually, and it is a middle grade. Now, I know middle grade is not everyone's cup of tea, but they are usually short, so easy to get through. The story is usually easy to follow, the vocabulary is not crazy, and as a non-English speaker it makes me good about myself reading a middle grade. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I'm reading so fast. It's always a good time. This middle grade is The Lost Whale by Hannah Gold. This book is so special to me now. It is about whales. Yes, thank you, Jeanne. This little boy that is from England, from London, and he has to move to the west coast of the US because his mom cannot take care of him anymore. He's with his grandma in the US where he's never been before. He's quite upset about it. So Ocean Bay is a special town. I think it is a real town. It's a special place because it's on the route for the whales for migration from the north to this place that is in Mexico Bay, somewhere in Mexico, where they go and reproduce and get safe, and they go back up again. So it's along the coast of the US, and in this place you can actually see them. So this is the story of this boy that basically falls in love with the ocean, and just making understand how amazing and beautiful and essential whales are for this planet. This is a book, I learned so much about whales and the ocean from this book. I'm not the most knowledgeable about it, so it made it even more enjoyable to me. And there's illustration along the way, so it makes you feel like you are flying through this book, which I did. And it made me cry, ugly cry. When I cry in a book, it means it was a good book. I gave it 5 stars. I feel like it's going to be in my top 10 of this year, 2022. It's a middle grade, but it touches on subjects that are so vital today: mental health, preservation, ecology, conservation. It's amazing, and at the end the author gives you resources to check out to get to know more about what is happening for the whales and what is being done to protect them. Yeah, whales are majestic animals and vital for the planet. Basically, if we don't have whales anymore, planet is screwed. It's like the bees type of thing. Bees and whales, I don't think we can live without them. I've been rambling. Oh my god, I need to be quicker than that. Only 5 books. That's why I only choose 5 books every time, because I cannot shut up. The second book is mystery. And mystery is usually quite fast-paced, and they keep you on your toes because murders are quite entertaining. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, the only and the one. Agatha Christie is usually really fast-paced, and I like the format of this one because part of it is interviews. Hercule Poirot is interviewing all the suspects on this train because people are stuck and someone died. Very engaging, and her writing is quite easy to follow and her characters very compelling even if you hate some of them. I think Agatha Christie got me out of the reading slump a few times, only because it's so fast-paced and I like a short murder mystery, classic tropes. It always worked with me and I devoured this in I think a day. Oh my god, I'm finally out of my reading slump because of this, especially the classic ones. I don't really like the contemporary murder mysteries. Usually I like a historical murder mystery. The next book, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Now this is a controversial because some people cannot get through the first pages, the first like 50 pages or something, but other people are very annoyed by the fact that this is really speculative at first. This is very mysterious and you don't get to know a lot of about what's going on because you are following this character, infinite house with infinite halls filled with Greek statues, okay? And in this house there's also the sea, there's the skies, and all this happening in this house is the tides, the sea goes up and down, and this is basically the journey of Piranesi that lives in this house. It is very magical, very mysterious. I feel like if you also like dark academia, it could be something interesting for you to look at because there is this weird study element to it where Piranesi is studying house, trying to understand this pattern, to understand what's going on, and then he gets to unravel pretty dark shit and pretty surprising things that I was on my toes. I was so engaged, and I think it is like 230 pages or something. If you are discouraged by the beginning because it feels like it's a nonsense, keep going. I promise you, you're not gonna be disappointed. If you like mysteries, if you like fantasy, but if you like magical world and ambience, read this. It won the Women's Booker Prize for a reason. I'm really happy about this, and this is one of my favorite books ever. Next, the rest is only fantasy, the last two ones. So the next one is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I'm usually quite slow to get through any book because I have a very short attention span. I'm weak. My phone is always near me, which is bad, and I get distracted. But for this one, I was happy. The chapters are like 2 to 3 pages long, so it makes you feel like, oh my god, I'm going through this book so quickly, another chapter, another chapter, another chapter, which is really good. Like for example, you know, when you tell yourself, oh, one more chapter and I'll go to bed. When these ones are so short, it's so easy to make you say that, like, oh, just one more chapter, it's 2 pages, it's 2 pages, and then out of nowhere you just read 100 pages really quickly. To tell you about it, it is really dark, quite gory at part. This is the story of these 2 students, really clever people. They are experimenting with science. They basically become superheroes not by mistake, but they play with death, they play with limits of the body, and that results into some weird supernatural thing happening. I feel like X-Men, but these are not good guys, these are the bad guys, and I love that. It's very fast-paced, kind of a man hunting, who is going to find the other first, who is going to die first, this type of trope with academia, because these are crazy students, they're geniuses. So I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but they're messed up with life, with the limits of the body, and now they are superheroes, supervillains. And I think that's very interesting. I really like the supervillain origin stories. Writing style is very fast-paced. This could be a movie, to be honest, action movie. So this is why this got me out of the reading slump, because I just felt like I was just watching a action movie. Thomas, nothing. Could you close the door, please? Thomas, it's not closed. It's gonna open again. Thank you. The last book on this list is, to no surprise to anyone who read this book, The House in the Sylvian Sea by T.G. Kuhn. Well, T.G. Kuhn in general is my reading slump healer each time. When I read The Whispering Door that came out this year or last year. This also got me out of reading slump because his writing style is very whimsical. You fly through the books usually. There's not that many characters to remember. It's whimsy, fantasy. I recommend this book to a few people and they all devoured that book in like a few days. 2 days, 1 day for some. Like, this book is magic, ultimate healer. So please read this book if you haven't. If you don't know what this is about Linus. This is very cynical man that has a very boring corporate job in some department of youth, magical youth, kind of like Ministry of Magic for Harry Potter. This department of this ministry is specialized in young children and youth with special abilities and just special children that are not normal. And one day he gets assigned a case that is very unusual and he has to go to this island that is isolated because some very dangerous, weird kids live there. And he has to investigate whether or not they are being taken care of properly or if they are as dangerous as they might be, so they might never be able to join the rest of society. So yeah, that's his job, to investigate this, the orphanage, you know, the place where orphans live. Pretty wild adventure on this island, that's all I can say. I like the blurb by V. Schwab actually, that says it's like being wrapped up in a big gay blanket. That's all you need. Gays, children, magic, found family trope, it has everything. Alright, read it. After this, I read a lot, and compared to last year, I read 18 books. This year, I've read 44 books so far. Can you believe it? 44 books in 6 months. I think you should read them all, and I don't think you should shy away from any of them. These are the 5 books. They're all quite short, they're all 5 stars for me, and they all help me through my reading journey to get me back into reading. I think I'm gonna make a video about what books got me into a reading slump. Books that doomed my life and make it difficult to read again and to pick up books. But these ones I was happily reading and I was eager to finish all of them, and they helped me to just continue reading. I think you are going to love them, and yeah.